Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the podcast that you listen to. We all know it's the Idaho Business Podcast right now. I'm here with if I can adjust my screen, you all better appreciate this, the Uncle Eddie sweater, emptying their RV outhouse hose into the sewer sweater. I'm being festive. It is the holiday, the Christmas week of, and I'm trying to be festive and enjoying my week. So hope you guys are also trying to do the same thing. Anyways, as always, we're sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning, my company. If you need any janitorial needs, from Burley all the way over to Rexburg, we're going to be over in Twin Falls here soon. Anywhere from toilet scrubbing to carpet cleaning, whatever. We're your guys. Give us a call at 208-254-7070. And if you tell us that you heard about us on the podcast, we will give you, since it is cold and flu season, and we hear that RSV and all that crap's going on right now, want to keep you and your employees safe and keep them productive so they're making you money. We'll give you your first sterilization spray for free. You don't have to invite us back if you don't want to, but that's just the podcast offer. We'll come into your office, we'll spray your office down, and it gives your full office a full reset, kills all the germs in that office, and you can get your accounting office back or your HR department back or your sales department back that are all out sick right now. So anyways, let's talk about perfection today. Is your company perfect? Are you perfect? If you're thinking yes and you're saying yes to yourself right now, then you probably want to dial this off right now because you need to find a different podcast for those perfect people. Because you're in rare company of just yourself if you think that, my friend. So if we know that we're not perfect and we know we're not running a perfect company, how do we continue to help our customers, our clients understand that, hey, things are going to happen, but we're going to be there to take care of stuff when things happen or imperfections happen, Vince Lombardi, he had a quote that said, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. And excellence, can only be caught with processes and systems in place. I know you're going to be like, oh, really, Spence? We're going to talk about core values. We're going to talk about systems. Let's talk about it again, guys. Because apparently there's a few of us that aren't doing it yet. How many of us are in our companies and we are still dealing with problems that happen on a weekly basis? We're like, oh my gosh, this again? Oh, I dealt with the same thing last week and the week before and the week before that. Cool. Well, if it's the same problem you're dealing with, why don't you systematize it so it's not a problem anymore? Okay. Figure something out. Maybe there's something that if something happens, say, let's for an example, let's use a fun example. And there's so many different examples out there. One of our examples, I'll just use one. We have our shop, and we used to have a lockbox to get, to put our key in so our employees could get in and out of the shop. And the lockbox would always get jammed or to get frozen up, and people would always get frustrated because they couldn't get into our shop and get their equipment, get their supplies they needed to get their stuff done. So, and this was becoming a weekly and sometimes daily problem. And so my management were like, oh, let's go get some lubricant and try to, do this, get some de-icer and do this. And finally, I decided why don't we just replace the whole locking mechanism on the door, make it a key code system, so there's no keys, there's no lock boxes anymore. It's literally a code that we can change on the fly whenever we need to. And you type in the 4 to 6 digit code, and it opens up perfectly for you. Boom, solve that completely. Don't even have to worry about that problem. Just small things. What can you do to systematize things? So that was a very, very small problem. But like, say you're hiring staff, and it's a problem getting them, all their hiring and onboarding papers, and maybe you're a real small company, you don't have an HR staff, HR professional, and maybe you are that person, and it's you got so much on your plate, and you think, you can't afford to hire someone to be an office receptionist or a manager or something like that for you. Cool. Guess what? We've talked about this over and over again. You can hire virtual assistants, or there's people locally that you can hire that are like, hey, you know what? I'll work from home. I can work 5 hours a week, or 10 hours a week, depending on what you need. And I could, help manage your Bamboo HR or whatever, Bambi, whatever HR platform you want to use, or just send out documents on an email to start with, to make sure your employees are getting that stuff, follow up with those employees, and get those signed documents back, put them in a folder for you, or an online folder, which would be better. So there's redundancy. So if there's a fire that happens, they don't lose everything. All that kind of stuff. You can thin slice stuff to be very quick to happen and easy to happen. You don't have to think, oh, if I gotta hire someone, I've got to get them solid part-time hours or solid full-time hours to make it worth their time. No, there's people out there that just want a few hours a week. They just want some time. There's moms out there that, when they put their kids to nap, and they got some infants or something that they used to be, full-time professionals, but now they're taking a hiatus for a little bit to raise some kids. Maybe they want something like that they can do while their kids are taking a nap, or something that they can do on their own time throughout the week. There's stuff like that you can utilize, and you can have talented people at your disposal. You just got to find them. And you can use Upwork.com. You can use Indeed to find local people like that. And you can put on Indeed. This job can be done remotely. I found people through Indeed that you can hire remotely. So we're getting back to, we got those processes to help us to chase perfection, so we can end up with some sort of excellence within our companies. Helping customers understand that, perfection's not there, and, there's going to be things that they're extremely happy with, and there's going to be things that, small things happen. Balls get dropped once in a while, and people have to be understanding. Because if you have one type of person that's constantly wagging their finger and yelling at another company because they drop the ball on this, they do this, they do this, they do this. Well, they have 4 fingers pointing back at them saying, well, you better be perfect yourself. So not saying like this is not a rant on my company or anyone else's companies, but this is just helping everyone understand, like, be patient with each other. Number one, we know it's tough to find employees right now that are willing to stay the distance and to be trained and to stay with you. Things that will help with that will get is getting your core values in place and having those processes in place so people feel like they're joining an orderly company. Those things will help dramatically to help keep employees longer. But we understand that we're in a tough place with trying to find people that are wanting to invest in our companies with us and to catch our drift, catch our vibe. So we all have to have a little bit of patience with each other right now, understanding that we're all in this together. So it's nice to be able to do business with people that understand that and understand that, hey, imperfection is going to happen. We're all trying to chase excellence. We're all trying to do the best. But if they can see that when there are some minor mishaps that happen and there are systems in place to take immediate action to rectify those things, that's where you save relationships. That's where you enhance relationships. And that's where you really impress clients, because you don't think that, oh, since I messed up with a client, it's over. I'm toast. I'm garbage in their eyes. No, it's an opportunity for you to knock their socks off. It's not an opportunity. It's not something that you're just like, oh crap, I gotta save face. No, use this for an opportunity to knock their socks off, not just make it right, but make them whole again. Return things better than you found them. Use that type of analogy as you're running your business. You break something within while you're doing something while working in their business. If you're a contractor and you're working on something else, and you damage something else while you're working on something else, fix that damaged area better than you found it. That will dramatically, what's gonna add to your reviews. That you just came and did the job that they hired you to do. Like, obviously that you want that to happen because you're going to make the most money when that happens, of course, right? But when things go wrong, and you have those opportunities to knock those customer socks off, you break something. No, you damage something while you're going to repair something in someone's home. I'm using this contractor's analogy right now. And you go and you replace it better than you found it, and they come home and you let them know, hey, just so you know, we did break this while we were repairing X, Y, and Z, but just so you know, we did replace it with a higher quality material and a better trim, whatever it is, to make it, to make sure you guys were happy with the final result. Don't you think that's going to end up, more on a more positive review for you? Granted, there's going to be some psychopaths out there that are going to be, you're never going to be able to make those type of people happy. And hopefully you're not doing business with those type of people, because they're just psychopaths that you just need to stay away from. But for the most part, people want and want to help people. And they realize that people make mistakes, and they want to be forgiving. They want to realize wow, this company went above and beyond for us. Yeah, they made they had an imperfection over here, but my gosh, that was already worn out a little bit, and they broke it, and now it's brand new. So they went to replace this, and then we have this all brand new. Jeez, these guys are awesome. They didn't just hodgepodge something together and stucco it and make it look halfway good again. They replaced it, made it look awesome. That's what you want to do. You want to make that customer whole, and that's what knocks their socks off. So going forward, guys and gals, knowing that you run not perfect companies, and you're not perfect yourself, be easy on yourself. When your employees screw up, when you screw up, because we all do, don't fly off the cuff and start screaming at people. Don't scream at your employees. Don't scream at your managers. Think for yourself. How is this problem that we're running against something that's avoidable in the future? And if it's so, take out a clean piece of paper and say, okay, when this happens, I do this. When this happens, I make this decision. When this happens, I do this. And make that a scenario that you go through every time you come across problems that are happening on a regular basis, and automate yourself out of that for your time up to do better things. And then teach your team, your staff, how to handle these other problems that are coming up, so they're not even problems anymore. They're just things that happen. They're just things like, that comes up once in a while. It's not even a problem, but this is how we handle it. This is how we've been trained to do it. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to empower your staff to do these things. So remember that productivity is all done with processes and systems, and having hiring employees that are matching our core values. And telling you, sometimes we get caught up in, to be perfect and to do this and this right, we have to have so many managers. We have to have so many people micromanaging this aspect and this aspect, and we have to look over this person's shoulder. No, it really all starts with, are you hiring right? And if that's not happening right, then you need to go back to the drawing board and look at your hiring systems. Maybe you need to ask better questions. That's something we're doing right now. Maybe we need to ask better questions. Maybe you need to filter things out as you're putting things on Indeed better, asking for more qualifications. So you're getting the more qualified applicants coming into your locations. And maybe you're getting the qualified applicants coming in, but maybe they're not fitting your core values because you're not writing your job posting the right way. And that's what's leading your company away from excellence. So these are the things you need to be worrying about. And not so much worrying about, but they're all fixable and they're all obtainable. So go forward this week, go have yourself a Merry Christmas, enjoy time with your family, look at the gratitude that you have around you, hug your loved ones, enjoy having Santa Claus come to your homes, enjoy the birth of our Lord, and just really enjoy the holidays and get a full reset and decide for this upcoming year a few things that you're going to do to make things better for this upcoming year for your business. Like I said in the past when we've had other episodes, just try to be 1% better. 1%. That's all it takes to have milestones of change. So until then, go out, go dominate your day, stay away from those negative Nancy's, and just be happy. It adds no extra effort to be kind to people. So till then, you guys have a fantastic day. Adios.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.